The San Francisco 49ers are going to kick ass and take names this season, and it all starts with head coach Kyle Shanahan.
What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing today? It's another episode of the Niners Now podcast. Another Friday, meaning the weekend is just around the corner. The closer we get to real training camp with the San Francisco 49ers, where the veterans come in and show the young bucks how to earn their money. With that said, how was your day today, Jess, and how are you doing?
It was good. It's Friday. We are Jake Moody days away from training camp.
Yes, we are. We are definitely Jake Moody's ways for training camp. Finally, we'll have something to talk about, something tangible, something real. Instead of making things up as we go, we can actually focus on what's taking place in the world of training camp. I cannot wait for this to start. My goodness. The season is just around the corner. Are you excited?
I really am. First things first is training camp, so I'm super excited for training camp. Because like you said, we'll actually have stuff to talk about and we'll be, reaching for things. But yeah, I'm excited for the season. How about yourself?
I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up. I'm like a kid at a candy store. Cannot wait. Or coming down the upstairs, heading to the Christmas tree, just to find a bunch of presents and cannot wait and trying to decide which one to open up first. And that's how excited I am every year. It's Christmas in July for me. I just want to acknowledge and recognize Jimmy Perez for coming into the show. What's up, brother? We got Don Dotson in the house. What's up, Senorita Dotson?
What's up, Don?
We got Bebop in the house. What's up, Bebop? We got David McNiner in the house. Cuba Vato. We got Dina Harvey in the house.
Dina!
Let's go. Let's see who else do we have in here. They're trickling. We got Crazy Guy in the house. What's up, Crazy Guy? And we got Dion. Niner Gang Podcast in the house. What's up? And look who it is. Now, the question is this. Is this the real Ramilia Sports Report, or is this Steve-O impersonating the Rams dude? That's the $1 million question today. That's going to be our trivia. Is this really Rudy, or is it an imposter? But nevertheless, welcome. My goodness, Jess, before we go further and talk about our show a little bit, why don't you give those that for some reason or another happen not to watch your show on Wednesday? I heard you had a special guest on Wednesday. Please elaborate who that was.
Yeah, so it was yesterday, and we had Spencer Burford, right guard
that's
of
right,
our
Thursday,
beloved
sorry.
team, the San Francisco 49ers. And he was on with us for about 45 minutes or so, and it was awesome. I was still floating today at the fact that he was actually on our show. So if you haven't seen it, please go over to the East Coast Red and Gold podcast page on YouTube, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It was awesome.
Yeah, it definitely was. I got able to check it out for a little bit. It was fun. They had some great questions on there, and he was very honest with his answers. And he looked pretty good, man. He looked like he is ready for camp. He is ready for year two, and he is ready to take this league by storm and show that he was going to be a great guard in the NFL. Great job, Jess. Great job in getting them on your show. Jess works very hard in getting these guests on the show. So if you haven't subscribed to her channel already, without me being rude, what in the world are you waiting for? Go and subscribe to the East Coast Red and Gold podcast. They are doing some great things over there. This is
And
why I
Dawn
snatched
was a
her.
big winner as well. Dawn won a T-shirt last night, so
That's
congratulations
right.
again, Dawn.
Did you able to get her Twitter information?
Yeah, actually, we touch base on Instagram, so we're all
Okay,
good.
perfect, perfect. I'm like, I don't know if she has Twitter. I really only communicate with her on during the lives. So I'm glad to hear that. Congratulations, also winning that T-shirt. You know, it's funny. Not that I'm trying to take any credit, but I'm Mexican, so I'm going to try. I picked 49, right? And she picked 49. But then when she noticed that I picked 49, I seen her change it. She erased it and changed it to 35. So if I didn't pick 49, she wouldn't have won. So I want half of that T-shirt. Not just kidding. Cut it in half. The whole T-shirt probably wouldn't even fit me. So keep it for yourself or the girls. But great show on Thursday. That's right. What threw me off is they normally have their show on Wednesday, but to accommodate, and sometimes when you have special guests, you have to accommodate their availability to come on your show. And I'm assuming that's why you guys went on Thursday, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened because it was actually his birthday on Wednesday. So that's why we went on yesterday, but we're back to Wednesday next week, and we actually have Jesse Sapolu coming on.
Next week?
Yep.
That's it. No, don't watch this show no more. This show's you just watch their show on Wednesday.
And Maddie is raffling off his first preseason game tickets as well. So don't forget to tune in.
Maddie's a season ticket holder.
He is. Yep.
He lives in California.
No, he lives in Maine.
He goes to all 8 games in Santa Clara during the season.
I don't know if I don't think he goes to all 8, but he sells them and and stuff.
Oh,
like
I
that.
got you. I got you.
Well.
Okay. Oh, to make you can always get more. Okay, I got it. I'm like, dang, that's a lot of money on flights alone. Just from me, I'm like,
he has a flight hookup too. So
dang, Maddie.
Yeah, he's all set.
I need to be hooking up with you guys more often. I was able to. I snatched Jessie when I seen Jessie from her show. I'm like, I got to snag her onto this show. She knows people. If you want to know people, you got to know people that know people. See, I don't know nobody. I'm just a nobody. Jessie's famous, so I gotta definitely. Let's see who we bring on here. Maybe we'll bring the janitor from my elementary school on here. But great job, Jess. Oh, seriously, great job. So you heard it now. You heard it from Jess. Next week, tune in, 5:00 Pacific, 8:00 Eastern. Jesse Sapolo, the Old Faithful Garden Center. Great guy, man. Great guy. So come and check him out. I know I'll be there supporting the channel. And when you're there, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. So without touching a lot of the things we touched last week, and just kind of getting ready. You home? Getting ready to embark in the 2023 season. I want to ask Jess and I want to ask everybody in the chat, what got you more excited? What position, I should say, has you excited, intrigued in watching? Which battles you think they're going to be not easy to win the job? Is it the quarterback? Is it the running backs? Is it the receivers? Are the tight ends? Between Ross Dwally and Charlie Warner, the two vets will be competing with the two rookies in Latu and Willis. Will the rookies beat out the vets? We know we're not touching. I didn't mention about trading George Kittle because I don't want to get killed by Jess. Jess will trade me as a co-host before we trade Kittle. So I've learned
Very
my
true.
lesson. Very true. But tell me how you really feel, Jess. Let's welcome
No
Damian
holding
Lee.
back over here.
What's up, Damian Lee? He says Kalia Davis' position is drawing my interest. The guy was redshirted year one because of an injury that he sustained in college, and he was ready to go towards the end of the year. So he was a healthy scratch at the end, but they figured because of the rotation that we had, might as well just let him continue to learn that defense. Now he's coming in with a all healed up, ready to go, and a better understanding of this defense. Although he really kind of learned the D'Amico Ryan's defense, so now he has to kind of get adjusted to the Wilkes defense, but it shouldn't be that hard for him. Let me acknowledge someone else that just came in, Mr. Luis Moreno in La Casa. What's up, brother? He says, I am more interested in who doesn't make the cut on the D line. It is stacked. That's an interesting point there, Luis. Jess, we're always thinking about who's going to make it. Who do you think is the man from the outside looking in, possibly on that D line?
Ooh, uh, I don't really know. It's too tight to even say like, oh, this one's going to be cut. This one, um, somebody is, unfortunately. I mean, we have a lot of great players on our team. Um, but yeah, I'm not too sure. What about you? What do you think?
Um, I think Kerry Hyder could be on the bubble. I know they retained him from last year, but he could be on the bubble, especially since they brought in Austin Bryant and they brought in Farrell from free agents to kind of compete. And then they also drafted Roberto, what's his last name? Roberto something Jr. From Georgia.
Robert Beal Jr.
Beal. That's right, Beal. Oh, I keep thinking Gear, but I go, no, it's not Gear. Beal, Junior from Georgia, a Bulldog. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be It's gonna be interesting to say the least, Damien. Guys, Luis Moreno, keep your eyes on that defensive line because you might just be surprised who makes it or who gets cut because we're so strong that the person you might think, oh, he got it for sure, could be them out man out. That's how good this defense is. Now, somebody we don't have to worry about is Nick Bosa being cut for sure. It's getting close. That contract is coming. It's getting close. I mean, they usually sign that contract right before training camp or a little bit after. Do you think it gets done? And I know you might not care when it gets, because you know it will get done, but just for conversation wise, do you think it might get done before next Tuesday?
We're really coming down to the wire. But then again, that's how they do their contracts. So I definitely, who knows, maybe, Monday night, Tuesday morning, we're waking up and, we see that this big contract for Nick Bosa. But I think it does get done.
So you most likely to get it done. They'll start heating up in the weekend and probably get it done by Monday. Push the wire. Do you think that they know, both party knows that it's done, but they like talk to each other? Okay, we're not going to let nobody know until Tuesday morning. Like it gets done Sunday night, right?
It's I wouldn't be surprised. It's possible. I think that, this, the organization this time around, like, holds a lot of stuff back before it actually, happens. And, it's very possible.
Yeah, I think it is. I think that once the contract is signed and there's an agreement on both parties from the agent of Nick Bosa and the front office of the 49ers, I think they're just like, all right, well now, keep it hush hush. We'll announce it on Tuesday morning, whatever, and on all the platforms, let everybody go wild. And Nick Bosa's already sitting. We're sitting here like, oh my God, is he going to sign? Oh my God, is he going to hold out? And he might already be signed already today. He might be sitting home smoking a cigar, enjoying that big ass contract that we don't not going to find out until the last minute. But so all I know is this, Jess. The record shows, the history shows that the 49ers take care of those players they covet. If you're a good player on the field and off the field, they're going to take care of you. They took care of your boy Kittle. They took care of Fred Warner. They took care of Debo, even though Debo got a little dramatic with the "trade me" crap. But they still took care of him because they acknowledge he's a great player. Bosa has been a monster since day one. He has been getting better and better. You know that when Bosa's not on that defense, it suffers a lot. Not just in the sack, but Bosa makes everybody in the line better. So rest assured that Bosa will be in training camp, ready to go, all signed up and delivered to you guys. So I have no worries about that based on the track record. Because it's showing it, right? I mean, Kittle, Fred Warner, they weren't worried, and they got it done.
Yeah.
So, and they got it at the last minute too, right?
Yeah, it was just before training camp started. Yeah, like a day or two.
Exactly. Luis says, "Do you think that Nick Bosa's contract will be so big that it? No, 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 no. It's like
No.
getting a mortgage on your home. You're not going to get a mortgage that it's going to 100% put you in a situation where you might not be able to pay it back, and then you lose your home. Parag, it's a very smart individual. He handles the whole contract situation. I mean, since the whole Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch era, we haven't run into no financial difficulties. Knock
We
on wood.
probably have the best money guy that there is. And
Well,
I
we're
don't
going to
think
find out for
it's
sure next year because next year we're going to be about $200 million against the cap. Negative.
well, good thing is that we're only in 2023, and we're focusing on this season.
Correct.
But like I said, we have the best money guy around, and I don't think it's going to cripple the organization. He's going to get what he deserves, but I also think that it's going to be team friendly as well. I think it's going to be it has to work for both sides.
Now, I've been hearing Matt Miyoko. That's a good point, Jess. I've been hearing Matt Miyoko say that it is even possible that they pay Bosa what he deserves, but he won't make more than Aaron Donald. He might just make just a little bit below Aaron Donald. Do you think Bosa will go for that? Or do you think Bosa wants to be recognized as the highest paid defensive player?
I don't think he really see. I don't. Obviously, we don't know. We're just commenting.
Yeah, speculating, of course.
Right, like, to me, I don't think he really cares about that. He doesn't strike me as the type to care about that. He just wants what he deserves, and whether it's a little bit more, a little bit less, I think he's good either way.
Now they are competitive. They do compete. But you're right. I think if all the little things, all the little I's get dotted, all the T's get crossed on, injury, on the trade value, does he have a choice whether he gets traded or not, or where does he go, stuff like that. How much of a guarantee is he going to get? I think those are the things that factor more. If he's shy below Aaron Donald, as long as he's happy with what he gets, I'm with you. I don't think that he's the type of character that is going to be sitting there. No, I ain't signing nothing less than what Aaron Donald makes. Now, we'll find out. But the Niners do take care of their players, and John Lynch has even overspoken, if you ask me, about Nick Bosa. He's been very positive in saying that Nick Bosa ain't going anywhere. I mean, every time you hear him talk, he ain't going anywhere. He ain't going anywhere. You gotta understand, he's a defensive guy. He started building this defense the way it was in Tampa when he was playing in Tampa, where it started in the front to the back. And there was a guy named Warren Sapp that he really looked up to. This is Lynch I'm talking about. So he feels that he has his Warren Sapp in Nick Bosa. And he knew how vital Warren Sapp was for that team in that time. So I believe he will get signed. Look who it is. Wow, I haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you are doing good. Ma Lopez, how you doing? Welcome. It's been a minute. Good to see you. Definitely brought a smile on my face seeing you back on the show. Good to see you. Real quick, this is not football related, but I just want to make sure he don't feel that I'm ignoring his comment. For those that don't know, I sell jerseys, football, baseball, hockey, college. I customize them. I tailor fit them. So if you're a big boy like me, you want to get comfortable in your jersey. You don't want to have it too big, and you definitely don't want to have it too small. So hit me up, Big Daddy Niners, after the show, and I'll take care of you, my friend. I will take care of you. Rockstar guy is here. What's up? Now we got Crazy Guy. We got another guy that is Niner guy. Now we got Rockstar guy. I don't know. Could it be a coincidence? There's a lot of guys. Or is this my twin? How many twins do you have? Hold on. How many twins do you have? I found out he's 15 though. Because the other day I was doing a show, I believe Wednesday, and I guess I wasn't getting to his comment fast enough.
All right.
Crazy. You remember that? And so he had the audacity to chew me out for not picking his comment. So I had to kind of talk to him a little bit. But then I found out he was 15. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Look what is my boy, my brother from a different mother. We got Jason, Niners Smash. How you doing, sir? Welcome, my Uso brother. How you doing, man? This guy is cracks me up. You look at him, white. You never know that he has some, I believe, Samoan descent in him. White. He's a Uso brother. So people are like, what? You can't tell. It's like, it cracks me up. But this guy is amazing, man. He has a podcast. I think it's called Niners Radio Show. I hope I did not batch that, Jason. Correct me if I'm wrong. But great guy, him and his co-host. I think there's 3 of them. And they do their thing on Facebook. They're primary on Facebook. So if you get a chance, Jason, put it in the comments what it's called so people can check you and your co-hosts out. So, Jess, tell me, have you heard anything? Because you have connections with these players, past or present. Have you heard anything who might be starting week 1 at quarterback? I know you have the insight.
From what I'm hearing is that they're going to let it play out.
Good one. That's what you're hearing, huh?
Yeah.
Now, listen, somebody been put there. There's a video of Kyle Shanahan going viral. That's why I said that. Going viral out there about they're going to let it play out. They're going to whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm not fooled by that. If Brock Purdy is healthy, he is the number one whether people want to hear it or not, whether they believe it or not, based on what he's shown last. And this is nothing negative against Trey Lance. It isn't. And a lot of us talk about, but they have a huge investment in Trey. Kyle doesn't care about those 3 draft picks they gave for Trey if Brock is the guy. They want
And
to
he
win
even
now.
said that. He even
Yeah,
said as much. I mean, I feel like I say this quite often that, draft picks are draft picks, but when you get into the NFL, it's a whole different ball game. Of course, I'm
exactly.
paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what he said.
And let's be honest. Let's say that Brock Purdy did not exist. They didn't draft him. He's not on the roster. Then those draft picks kind of get a little bit more magnified because if Trey doesn't work out and there's no plan B, if you will, then those draft picks that we give up get amplified, right? Like, oh my God, how can they give up 3 picks for Trey and Trey did not work out, blah, blah, blah. But lucky and damn lucky for Kyle and John Lynch that they were able to get Mr. Irrelevant where they took him because whoever scouted Brock Purdy for the Niners should get a raise because they the scout of Brock Purdy might have just saved the job of one Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. So at the end of the day, Kyle Shanahan said that they'll work it out. We'll play it out. We'll see what happens. But they know in the back of their head that unless Trey Lance completely blows Shanahan out of the water, I mean, he looks like a 180 person that just turned it around from last year. Completely on point, very accurate, fast release, reach the defense bet. I mean, if he impresses Kyle, we might get into that conversation. But I think even if Trey Lance improves a little bit, but it's kind of in the same boat that he was last year in training camp, there's no way that anybody can convince me that Brock Purdy won't be the starter week 1 unless he's not able to go because of injury, not because of anything else. So that's the only reason Trey will start. Now, people may not want to hear this, Jess, but it's the
That's
truth.
true. I also want to point out that Kyle Shanahan interview apparently appears to be from back in March at the owners' meeting.
Yeah, they take it out of context. A lot of people out there, they just want to revise something that was said. What's up, Nathan? Welcome. We got Brian Culp in the house. What's up, Brian?
Brian!
Yeah, they just listen. Whoever it is, me and Jess. We've been firmly standing on it that we support the team. We support the red and gold first and foremost. A lot of us look at. She has George Kittle behind her. She loves George Kittle. Don't you dare talk bad about George Kittle. I learned this the hard way, by the way. Don't talk about George Kittle to Jess, but he is not above the SF. If for what reason George Kittle was hurting the team, for example, you will be fine to moving on, right? You may not like it, but you will be okay moving on if it was being affected negatively towards the organization, right?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't like it, but at the end of the day, it's about the logo
Yeah, and then it's
for
okay
sure.
to and stay on that topic for a minute. It's okay to have your favorite player. It's okay to support your favorite player. It's okay to buy their jersey and feel comfortable with their number on on their wall. That's all good. Support your favorite player. Back them up. Want the best for them. Listen, I'm just going to use just as an example for Trey Lance. Let's say Jess loves Trey Lance and that's her favorite player. Of course, if Trey comes in here and we win a Super Bowl with Trey, that'll just be like the cherry on top of the ice cream for Jess because not only did we win our 6th Lombardi trophy, we did it with a quarterback that she likes. And that's okay. But I'm pretty sure, Jess, and tell me if I'm overstepping by saying this, but let's say you're a fanatic of Trey Lance, but Trey Lance isn't the guy. Brock Purdy wins a Super Bowl. would you be willing to give Brock credit for winning that Super Bowl, or are you so stuck on Trey that you're like, nope, I'm not giving him no credit?
Absolutely giving him credit. I mean, again, it's a team sport, right?
Preach
But,
it.
at the end of the day, if we win that 6th Lombardi, like, whoever is under center, like, I'm gonna celebrate that.
Sorry about
I mean,
that,
hell, like,
Ross.
I'm a big fan of Trey Lance, I'm a big fan of Brock Purdy. I have Trey Lance on my wall, I have a Brock Purdy signed helmet, I like them both. I hope they do really well. What's up, Ted? Um, but I've been saying, it'll just let it all play out, and may the best person be under center and get us number 6.
Exactly. And if that's Sam Donald, then it's Sam Donald. Whoever it is, as long as they win us a Super Bowl, that's what matters. I'm a big trade guy. I love trade. I want to trade. Drafted the Niners. I was excited when they drafted in him. I knew he was a project. I knew he was someone that had to develop into a quarterback because of lack of experience. But I can't unseen, Jess. I cannot unseen what I saw in Brock Purdy. I just can't. I cannot unseen what I seen in Brock Purdy. The way he commands the huddle, the way he reads defense, the way he changes
Right.
the plays.
And you shouldn't.
No, I mean he showed. Okay, it's one thing showing something in training camp and maybe in scrimmage or and what are those games are called? I forgot the ones before the regular season.
Preseason.
Preseason, thank you. And those games, one thing. But when you're playing in regular season games, especially when it matters, like it did for the Niners, and you see the type of work that Brock Purdy was able to produce on the field, winning 2 games in the playoffs. Do you know that him and Dak Prescott are they both have 2 wins only, and Dak Prescott makes way more money, and he's only won 2 playoff games for his prospective team. This kid comes in his first year and wins 2. I just cannot unseen what I saw from Brock Purdy. That's why I fell in love with him. Would I be disappointed if Trey Lance was able to unseat him and do better? No, of course not. I'll be like, dang, all right, well, I guess the ball is now on Brock's court. Let's see how Brock responds to this. Iron sharpens iron. So one person sharpens another, and this is what brings the best out of players is competition at their position. So if Trey wants this job, he's going to do everything he can to earn it. He's going to do everything he can to show his coaches that he belongs in the NFL. More particularly, he belongs with the San Francisco 49ers. And if Brock Purdy is able to do it himself, he's going to do the same. So is Sam Darnold. They're going to compete because they all want to be starters. Nobody wants to be a backup. But if Brock is healthy, I think personally, I say this again, unless Trey blows out the coaches, correct me if I'm wrong or if you have a different opinion, Jess, I think Trey is only competing for that backup position against Sam Donald, not necessarily for that starting job anymore with Brock.
Well, you know what? It really all depends on if Brock is healthy. We'll find out on Tuesday if they put him on the pup list. But if he's healthy, then yeah, he's going to be competing for the number 2 spot.
I agree. I agree. I am actually. I'm going to ask you just your point of view. I'm using a different camera today because the other one I took it off. Do I look clear? Probably not as clear as the other one that I had, but do I look like more pale, more white, more bright, or
No, I
am I
think you
okay?
look fine. I think you look the same.
Yeah, because the one that I normally use is this bad boy right here.
Hmm.
But I took it off because I like to do photography and I like to do videography. And so I went to the streets and I did some really nice pictures of the downtown. And I like to edit the pictures and make my little storyline. So I took it off, and I was too lazy to put it back on. So I'm using my 51. I'm using my other Sony, my 5100. But you said it's fine.
Hmm.
Okay, perfect then.
Yeah, it looks fine.
You notice this one has more of a wider shot. The other one kind of cuts.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Although this one has a zoom. See, that one's a stationary lens. This one has a zoom in there. But thank you. Just wanted to ask because yesterday
Sure.
I couldn't get the lights because you have to work with the ISO, the f stop, and the shutter. And if you don't get it right, yesterday I looked like a pumpkin. I was doing my show and I was looking at him like all orange. And I'm like, okay, well that's not working. That's not working. Ted, how you doing, brother? Good to see. I saw your show the other day with Bash. Great job, man. Ted's another one out there that is working his butt off to get his channel going. He puts a lot of work, a lot of effort. Ted really grinds hard, and he has great guests. So please do me a favor, show Ted some love, man, and go and subscribe to his channel if you haven't done so already. This guy puts in the work. He is committed to his craft, and he has great work. So sorry, somebody just really interrupted my conversation. Wonder who that was. You all heard about Jalen Hurd. You have to give it away. Making a possible return. Not with us. I'm done. I'm sorry. I had high hopes for Jalen Hurd. I wanted him to see what Kyle can do with someone like him. But for me, that ship has sailed. That was 3 years of misery of him getting hurt after hurt without even stepping on the field. Him and McKinnon, whatever his name is,
Yeah,
those two
McKinnon.
guys. McKinnon's doing great, by the way, over there with Kansas City. I don't care. He won a Super Bowl with the Kansas City. I don't care. Stay away from the Niners. That's just my opinion. But if you're referencing as him making a comeback just for himself with the team, then that's good. He's a young man. Why not? Daniel, what's up, Daniel Cantu? Welcome. He says, remember when Purdy started playing with the Niners and I know I don't charge you for the words, so you could have finished off your sentence. This is not AT&T, bro. You could have finished the sentence, my friend. How are you going to leave me there hanging? I know I'm a dick. Sorry. All right, let me see what else. Okay, we've seen that one. Ted, I heard a bird told me somewhere that you're changing your tune, that you're more a Brock Purdy fan than you are Trey Lance. Is that true? I don't know. Are you sporting that number 13? No, he's a huge Trey Lance fan.
Hey, let's talk offensive line. I saw David McNiner comment that we should talk offensive line.
Where at? Because I'm looking. He's still talking. He's talking about Jalen Hurd here.
It's like it's further up.
Like an hour ago.
Well, we've only been
I'm
on
slow.
for like 40 minutes. So
I'm messing with you. Go for it.
I know.
Hey, that's the leeway. Go for it. Run with the offensive line, and I'll follow your lead.
Well, what are your thoughts on the offensive line, especially my boy Spencer Burford?
I don't want to say it. I'm a bigger fan of Aaron Banks myself,
Okay.
but I love Spencer Burford. He played tackle, right? So when they moved him to guard, I'm like, how's he going to do at guard? I was shocked. That he handled himself very, very well. Yes, he was still learning the nuisance of that position. So they were kind of trickling Daniel Brunskill in there a little bit with him. But the Niners, Daniel Brunskill did not get away. It's not like another team just paid him so much that we couldn't re-sign him. The Niners let him go because they are confident that Spencer Burford is their starting right guard. I'm impressed what he did. Notre Dame Aaron Banks guy. But I like maulers, and starting to see Spencer Buford to do become more of a mauler as well, a big boy. I like it. I like his definitely fell in love with him even more on your podcast on Thursday, getting to know him a little bit better. That's the beautiful thing about interviewing a player is that you get to know another side of them than what you hear always from the media, answering questions, football questions. And I like his attitude. I like his fire. I think this kid's going to be special. And I think the 49ers, bar injury, are pretty set for the next 10 years at their guard position. Now, the only concerning area right now, it has to be the right tackle. But I am confident that Foster sees something special. Foster or Forrester? One of those two. I would get it. But anyway,
Forster.
Forster gets is very confident in stop it on McKivitz' ability to handle the spot that was left vacant by Mike McClinchy. And based on what I saw last year on how they did not draft a center or brought on free agent center, and they went with Jake Brendo, and he turned out to be good. I'm going to just hold my judgment on that position till I see him play for a year. Yeah, I know, we've seen him take some bad snaps here and there last year, but that might all change now that he knows that's his job and he's working hard at that position. So I'm looking forward. I think if McKivitz plays well, we're going to have a top 5 offensive line.
I think the best thing is the continuity. And I had asked Spencer last night about, if he's taken any snaps at right tackle, and he said no. He's primarily been taking snaps at right guard, and he'll play wherever they want him to play, but right guard is where he's at right now.
Yeah, and listen, he was a tackle out of college. They moved him to guard, and he's learning that position, and he's starting to find who he is in that position. Somebody had mentioned that they might kick him to right tackle if McKivitz doesn't play well, but I don't know if that's wise. I don't think the Niners will do it. I know a lot of fan base would say move Spencer out, but I think Spencer's dominating and finding his craft in that guard position. And once you have your confidence, you don't want to wave that confidence. You don't want to lose it by trying to take on another. Remember, he was a left tackle in college, so you would have to learn how to play right tackle in the kickouts that a right tackle does compared to a left tackle. So he's good at guard. We might have to figure out the tackle position if McKivitz doesn't work out, but I would definitely leave Spencer Buford and let him continue to develop at the guard position.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't see it, Ted. uh, I don't have as much as a concern for the offensive line as some others do.
Yeah, yep. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine. The way that Kyle schemes his offensive playbook, it helps the offensive line a lot as well to take some pressure off of them. I want to see what McKivitz does in the run game. That's one thing that Mike McClinchy wasn't good at was the pass protection, but he was really good at the run, handling the run. So for what I heard, that McKivitz is much better at the pass protection than McClinchy ever was. So if you give Brock or Trey or whoever's back there enough time, they're going to execute a play. They're going to allow a receiver to develop if they have enough time out there to look at what's going on and not worrying about a defensive guy getting to them. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward for that. Definitely. Shifting a little bit to the receiving court, I want to ask you, Ronnie Bell, and then you got Danny Gray from last year. You still have what's my boy's name? Number 15, Juwan Jennings,
Come on, Jennings.
that is playing in his last year. He's going to be a free agent. If Danny Gray impresses this camp or Ronnie Bell, do you think there's a possibility they trade Juwan Jennings and trying to get some capital for him instead of just letting him walk next year?
You know what? Everything's always possible. But, at the end of the day, I guess, obviously we'll see what happens. But I think Ronnie Bell, I'm excited to see Ronnie Bell. I think he's gonna really he's gonna compete with Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, I like, I was listening to, I forgot who I was listening to, but that's what happens when you listen to too many people. You forget who said what, and then you start crediting the wrong person. But I heard that Ronnie Bell's dad is an active receivers coach. He's an active receivers coach for I forgot what college. So the onset, learning that position, get familiar with that position, really, really has Ronnie Bell doing his thing at that position. He knows it very well. His dad has coached him ever since he's probably been able to see he can catch a ball. And he's been playing like that in minicamp. Now, he had a couple of drops here and there, but nobody's perfect. I think this kid could be special. I think this kid could be someone that we might hit a home run on, and I'm anxious to see how he does. There's also another kid out there. Can't think of his name. He's a receiver from last year. He spent most of the time on the practice squad, but he's been developing. Can't think of his name. It's slipping my mind, but he's been developing. Martin, yes, Martin. Thank you. He's been developing very well, and he might be pushing the envelope as well. So I believe we carried, 6 receivers last year in the 53?
I believe so, yeah.
So we already know we have Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Ray, Juwan Jennings. That's 4. And then we're looking at the 5 and 6. So could that be Gray and Bell? Or could it be Gray and Martin? Or could it be Bell and Martin? That's where I think the true competition is going to be, is for that 5th and 6th receiver on the team. But with that said, Ray, I don't think is 100% secure at his position. Do you think so?
Yes and no. Only because of special teams, but if you could even throw Ronnie Bell back there, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm 50-50 on that.
That face. Spaghetti is in the house. Bang Bang Niner Gang. Love the name. The face. There's funny. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, we'll see what happens. There's definitely going to be competition there. I'm excited. The tight end competition, I mentioned it earlier. The competition between, Ross Dwally. Who's tired? I don't know about you, but who's tired of seeing Ross Dwally come back
Yeah,
year after year?
I think him and Charlie Warner are on their way out.
Sound like a fax machine. Do you have a fax machine?
No, it was probably my wine cooler.
Or is it okay? I had to mute myself. I'm like, am I sending a fax? And then I realized I don't have a fax machine. I don't even have a landline. That'll be hard to do.
Yeah, last week it was thunderstorms in my wine cooler. This week is just wine cooler.
It just has a mind of its own, doesn't it?
Yeah,
You just got to give it, just got to put it in the show, man. It's trying to get into the show. So,
I know.
he wants to be that third person in the show. So we got to give him some props. But the tight end, we know that George Kittle is very, very safe as tight end 1. But Ross Dwally and Charlie Warner. Matter of fact, Charlie Warner lost. Ross Dwally lost his job to Warner, and then Warner lost his job to Kraft last year, and then Kraft with when he gave up that stupid sack to
Yeah, he was booted.
yeah, yeah, he wasn't good. I didn't expect him to be back.
He definitely had Donner.
You bring in Cameron Latu, which I heard he's a monster. He has a lot of lower strength in his body, great for blocking. And then you bring a kid like Willis from Oklahoma, who's explosive, is a good blocker as well. Great pass catcher. He's a better blocker than Latu. Matter of fact, Latu was not a good blocker. But if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Kittle terrible at blocking as well coming out of Iowa? And they had to develop him into a blocker?
Yeah, I think they did a lot of blocking, but I think he needed some work on that.
So if they got him to do that, now, especially having Kittle there as a coach on the field, they have a feeling they can develop Latu into that firm blocker and let Kittle and Willis just run free out there as tight end. So I think it's going to be tight end one and tight end two could be Kittle and Willis, and then just use Latu as that blocker. They can get behind the linebacker occasionally and get that touchdown that you might need in the red zone because he's a big body. So we'll see. But that competition looks like it's going to be fun to watch. If you had to choose between one of these two, Ross Dwally or Charlie Warner, who would you keep and who would you kick out?
I'd boot them both.
But you have to keep one.
No, I'm not keeping one.
Okay,
I'm
if you
booting
boot them both, automatically Kittle gets booted with him.
That's not even that's not a thing.
Well, not answering the question right is not a thing either. If you can keep one
All right,
and get rid of them,
I'm gonna go with Charlie Warner.
keep him or get rid of him.
I'm gonna keep him.
Okay. I just wanted to see out of who was the lesser evil of the both. So
Yeah,
it seems
because
like
Ross Dwelly, like he only shows up when we play the Seahawks,
yeah.
and to me that's not good enough.
So what happens if we cut him and then we get blown up by the Seahawks?
I don't think that'll happen.
No, neither do I. But you're right. We don't need him just for 2 games. We need him more than that.
Right.
So I agree. First and foremost, I'm with you. I think that both will be gone. I think they're going to give Latu a high draft pick, 3rd round high draft pick, and Willis an opportunity to see what they can do, not only this year but going to next year. And I think that the days are definitely over for Dwally. Yeah, that guy. I'm just tired of that. 82 should belong to someone else. That 82, that's John Taylor's old number. He's been holding on to it. I need someone to continue to respectfully put some love into that number 82. And Ross Dwally has not done it. So I don't even know what number Charlie Warner is. What is he, 83?
No, I feel like he's 89.
89?
I think.
Yeah, see. So be gone with those guys. I'm done.
Check that out.
Thank you. And then Damien Lee says, keep Charlie for yard cutting work. Yeah, he's a good blocker. And this is my thing. They might go with an extra tight end for the fact that if Latu is not ready to step into that blocking form, they might want to keep Charlie Warner there to help out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, his number is 89.
89? Okay. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to beat out of, I'm not saying you cannot beat out a vet, but it's hard to beat out a vet. I don't care what position you play as a rookie coming in and trying to beat out a vet. I'm not saying it cannot happen. Obviously, this has happened all over the NFL, but I don't know. I think that Warner, especially if he comes in camp and really shows up and shows out, He might still be here, but Ross Dwally is definitely gone. Now, this name, why in the world? I understand why you brought him up, but like, oh my God, Damien, did you really have to bring him up? You can go ahead and read the name, Jess.
Dante Johnson, 49ers legend, only
But
plays
in the
good
wrong
against the
way.
Rams.
He is. He is to the Rams what Dwally is to the Seahawks.
Yep.
And I'm good with both of them being gone. I don't even know if Dante is on the roster. And if he
No, I
isn't,
don't
he
believe
will
he
be.
is.
If he isn't, he will be, right?
Maybe at some point. He always seems to find his way back.
I'm telling you, I don't know. I think personally he has something over Kyle. He's blackmailing Kyle, man. He caught
No, I don't think so.
maybe he caught Kyle with a young girl and he took a picture and he's hanging it
Nah,
over. No?
no, I
This
don't
guy
think
gets
so.
breaks so much. It's like, I don't know. What's up, Steve? He says, shout out to Goodwin.
Evo,
Goodwin. Marquise Goodwin? Is this his birthday or? I'm just trying to figure out why Goodwin out of all conversation would have been brought up. But if it is, happy birthday, Goodwin. Also, I just want to give my condolences. We lost a very good singer today, and help me out. Tony
Tony
Bennett.
Bennett.
Excuse me. Yes, Tony Bennett. I love, he always hit that song San Francisco in his heart. So he lost his heart in San Francisco. We'll see how it goes. But as we start winding down to an hour, we're trying to keep it within an hour. Next Friday, we will definitely have better news. We'll have more to talk about because Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday practices. Oh, before we do close, I did read this earlier that the Niners are going to change their practice habits. Before it was 4 days on, 1 day off. They
Now it's
decided to
three
take
on, one off.
one off, so they're giving an extra, work. So I don't know. I think that might work out for the player. I also know that this is the first time that they let the rookies come in a week before. They normally every year they come in together with the veterans. This time the rookies came in 1 week before, and they didn't practice or nothing. They just came in kind of training, kind of get their feet wet a little bit. So when the veterans get here, they get going.
I,
So
I
I like
thought
that.
that I thought that the rookies always show up maybe like a day or two before.
Maybe a
I know a
day.
week before is new, but I think it's like a day or two before they're there.
They might. They might. Dina, what's up, Dina? Welcome. She says, Jess, I
Well,
need that hat.
I got it on residency.com.
Yeah, residency, man. That's where I get my hats from. Those particular hats. I have pretty much have one in every color you can think of. I love the design. I can never get into the one that Kyle wears, the little box. It looks like a little box on the hat.
Oh, I have those.
I can't get it.
I have most of the Shana hats.
Yeah, I can't do that one. That's just too small. Like my big forehead with the hat on and little things about this small. It's like me trying to wear some Daisy Dukes. It's not going to happen. So, with that said, that's enough to get rid of all the followers that were following us.
On
Make
that note,
On that note, make sure to continue to follow us on YouTube at the Niners Now podcast. Help us grow. We're trying to grow this channel. Let people know about the channel Niners Now podcast. We come on every week at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. Myself and Jess. Now that the season, well, not the season, but the training camp is starting, we're going to have more to talk about. We're going to be doing some special things in this channel. Stay tuned for that. Jess is a very creative mind, so she has some crazy ideas that you guys might enjoy. So make sure to follow the channel because you might regret it if you don't. With that, Jess, anything you have going on for the rest for next week besides our show?
next Wednesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific, East Coast Red and Gold podcast. We are having Jesse Sapolu on, and we are also raffling off the first tickets to the first preseason game. So head over there on Wednesday and check us out.
Yep. Wink already won. So just kidding. Make sure to go. Make sure to go. She didn't even have me on the show yesterday, so I don't get no chance to win. I'm like, hey, what does Terradome have that I don't have? I'm kidding. Probably more money. But anyway, with that said, guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for hanging out with us, Jess. It's always a pleasure co-hosting with you. Stay tuned for next week because we will come with more information. Next Friday will be fun for sure because we'll have a lot to talk about. Until then, stay safe, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you on the next show. Peace.
Go Niners.
Go Niners.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,